Hi everybody, it's Kathy from Huckleberry Herbs and Art, and I'm here to just make a card. And I've been so excited that I have a few minutes to craft. I wanted to dig right in and create something. I thought I'd share it with you. I'm going to be making, I'm so excited about this, with the Botanic Orchid. I'm going to play with these orchids finally. Oh, I've been dying to do that. And the Botanic Window. And I'm also using the jars and vines, and mostly the vines from that, and here's the dye that goes with the orchid. Yes, I've been so busy, and I'm so glad that I have some time to play around for a few minutes, and I thought I'd share it with you. Most of the things that you're going to see here you can find at huckleberryherbs.com. Thank you, all of you, for visiting the store and shopping at the store. I so appreciate it. Okay, so I'm going to start with, I've been dying to play with some vellum paper. Every so often I just want to do that. And I'm going to use my mini frost white color box and do some embossing. So that's something I really wanted to do, was do these orchids on parchment paper and keep this card somewhat on the, well, pastel, mostly white and sparkly side. So I'm going to use this pigment ink, which, yes, pigment ink takes longer to dry than dye ink, but it's more permanent because it is a pigment, and you can emboss with it. And so I'm just going to place this larger orchid over here, and of course this is not the orchid yet, it's the set. And I'm going to place the embossing powder. I do have some art glitter stuff that I'm going to show you today that's in the store, but I'm using the Wow Clear Sparkle, and no, I don't have any of that because it's not from the United States. So there's none of that in the store, but it's very hard to craft with only things from America. It takes a lot of research actually to find American products, and I am going to be looking for something comparable from the Art Glitter Company to this white glitter embossing powder. So hopefully I will have something in the store to take its place soon. Alright. Take that off. Just a gentle. I really don't want to tap off all my lovely embossing powder. And I'll be careful and put it back in here. And so, yes, with pigment ink, you don't have to go to the trouble of getting out your Versa mark. You can use this pigment ink because it stays wet. You can use this pigment ink to emboss with, and I love the crisp white, so I'm doing it white and white just in case. Suppose I had the option of using clear, and I don't know if I have something dark just to show you in case you're not seeing it. That's coming up lovely, beautiful white. I don't know if you'll see the sparkle in the embossing powder, but, and again I'm going to, so I'll have two of these large ones because I'm going to want to play with these more, and if I'm going to go over to the die cut and go to the trouble of embossing, then why not do some extras? Go to the next size, and let me get that one inked up. So Colorbox is American as well, and I know it doesn't get as much airtime as some of the other ones from outside of the country, but it works very well, so why go outside of the country? Alright, I'm going to bring this up so I can utilize my space wisely. Right there. 2 of each of the sizes of the orchids. Okay. I really like working on the parchment paper. I have a whole bunch of plans. Of course, they're just plans. Oh, goodness knows. I have lots and lots of plans, but, you know, we'll see. We'll see how far I can get this summer. Oh, Heartfelt Creations is coming out next week with its next collection, and it is going to be a Christmas collection, and hello, pink and turquoise and blue and violets, Christmas. Okay. Last year it was a very traditional color. I loved the poinsettias. I had a lot of fun with them. I did parchment with them, and it was great. But I am very much looking forward to having some pink and violets and blues and turquoise and all kinds of different colors. And the images are very sweet. There's a sled large enough to make the entire card the shape of the sled. And there's little mittens. And let me see, what else did they have? Oh, skates and wreaths, so that you can hang the skates and the mittens off of your wreaths or on the sides of your sleigh. And then there's nice presents that you can decorate up and color. I'm very much looking forward to getting those and playing with them. But I'm enjoying these orchids right now. They're really beautiful. I hope you can see a little of the sparkle, because it's a pleasure to look at. I'm going to emboss this, and hopefully I'll be able to get the sound down for you so that you don't have to listen to that. And this is from the Jars and Vines. I want to stamp this up, and I'm going to make, I hope, some green leaves. And I'm using the petal point, and this is the primary colors. And these are great. I can just slide out what I need and get it stamped up. And I was hoping that these would just be, you know, a little bit of color in the background, the shape of leaves. They do not look like orchid leaves, but that's okay, because it's going to be outside the church window, if that's what we're looking at when we use the botanic window. And I just wanted the idea of some leaves. Okay, and then I'm just going to slide this guy back in. And this will be more subtle on parchment paper, but that's what I want. I just want a hint of pink, which I'll show you how I'm going to do that in a little while. Let me remove my paper under here for a second, because I have my mat that gives a little bit of push. And with these larger stamps, of course, you want to move your fingers around and make sure you get all your edges. And there you go. And I don't know how well that shows up on green. Yeah, might need to use a different color. Let me just try just plain white. Okay, so I just wanted some subtle ideas of some leaves. I'm going to take this over to my Big Shot and cut all this out, and I'll be back. Alright, I have embossed and cut. These are the pieces to the orchid. I could color it, which I did want to do with a very light pink, and pan pastels works great. And yes, you could do inking, but I just wanted to do this project and grab what I had next to me. So believe it or not, just a light pink Crayola pencil. I got all these great pencils downstairs, but I'm just grabbing. And it does not look so good on the back, but this is parchment paper. So I'm just wanting to have a very subtle pink in the background. And yes, I'm on the back of this. Alright, so I'm on the back side of the parchment paper, and I'm just getting some pink. And I'm using the side of my pencil and trying to go around in circles so I don't get too many of those marks, but I'm not so worried about them. All said and done, it's not the little dot that you're gonna focus on. And as I said, I wanted to just get a project done. I just wanted to play with these beautiful orchids, and I just want a little bit of pink in the background. And of course you flip it over, so there you can see there's some subtle pink. And I'll just get this one done. And can you believe it? Crayola pencils. I have them laying around up here just in case I need to grab something, because I usually leave coloring type items down where I might sit for a while and color. And my Inktense pencils, which I love. I have to do some projects with those. But up here I just had these Crayolas laying around, and like I said, I just wanted to get, and I'm trying not to be streaky, so circular movements. Just wanted to get some pink on the back of this parchment paper. And I do have a video somewhere where I tried a bunch of different mediums on parchment paper with embossing, and I hope to do more parchment projects. And parchment paper and Heartfelt Creations Botanic Garden and these orchids, just beautiful together. Alright, and again, I just want this subtle background pink. And one more piece. So there's 3 parts to the flower. This is the largest one. I've already set up the other ones so that we don't have to watch me fuss over each and every part. And we can maybe see a final project in a shorter amount of time, but still see all the techniques and boo-boos and everything. Okay, so now that I have those colored just ever so slightly pale pink in the background, I'm going to turn them over again, and I'm bringing in an embossing tool now. Okay, parchment paper embosses really well, and you do need to put a little bit of shape into these, but believe it or not, I don't have the largest. I don't want to break open a Heartfelt Creations kit. They have a larger tip, and I ended up, because I wanted something very big. Can you believe it? This is crafting on the fly. I wanted to just very gently give a little bit of movement to these, and if you use a fine tip ball, then it's going to leave white. And I think I can show you, well, let me finish this and I'll show you in a second if you can even still see it. Okay, so just a little bit, mostly down the center, and trying to not press too hard, but do give them a little bit of shape. Mostly we're going to want the shape on this side, in that, and see how that did that? That left that white dot in the center. It embosses very well. It also tears very well. So parchment paper is fragile. Beautiful, but fragile. Alright, so I'm just gonna, and this one, I'm gonna take my glue and basically hold it. This Dry's Clear glue is great for something like this because it really doesn't take long for it to glue. See See, look at that. But I am going to hold it because this is going to put a lot of pressure on the paper. And you just want to make that one into a cup. So I'm going to, you know, kind of count to 10 and say hey to you and give it a few seconds here. And that'll be ready for us when we're ready for it. Okay, so I'm going to come back with a piece of paper that I can press into a little bit. And put a little bit of glue right there. And I like to glue it on this side too. And I forget which way I liked it the best, but I think this way because of the direction of the final piece. And just hold and press down. And I can give those flowers those petals a little bit more shape. There we go. I hope you can see the sparkle because the embossing and the gentle pink in the background, really very pretty. Okay, and then this one, I'm gonna kind of curl this way and this way, and almost like as if you were making the roses. When I put the glue on and try to place this in the center and have my stylus, my embossing tool ready, and then push right in there and hold and push and hold. Alright, and there is a pretty orchid. Alright, now I have done the other ones, and I'll get back to them in just a second, but I want to put some other pieces of the card together. I previously cut out the Botanic window die. Here's the die, and I have cut out the other piece that you can get. Now the die comes, okay, so you could do just the inside window, you could do just the frame, or you can make just a plain frame shape, which is what I've done here. So for this one, I used both of these dies at the same time to come out with the complete window with the decorated frame, and then I went back and did one here because I'd like to put some pink underneath. Alright, so having seen that, I'm going to go back to this white cardstock here. I'm going to use my Petal Point Color Box Pigment ink in the pastel colors. I'm going to use this pretty pink. So these are good for this because I can come in here and get my ink and just put my little pizza part back in there, my pie part. And I can also leave it because for this particular job I'm not going to need. And I just want to have some pink underneath the window so you can see through it and see the pink. And I'm not even really being particular, leaving a little bit of the white, almost like a cloud look on the window. Can you imagine a pink glass? That would be cool. Pink glass window. Alright, just a little bit. Let me see how that looks. If I place that there. Yeah, see, I wouldn't want it to be completely flat. I like the fact that it looks a little shabby. I'm just going to glue this piece right onto here, so might as well just get to it. Alright, put the frame on top. And hopefully we'll have this card put together in just a moment. I've had fun playing with these. They're so pretty. And the parchment and the sparkle. Alright. And I'll just place that on top of there. Make sure I've got it on there in just about the right spot. Good. Nice. I like it. And I even like that I didn't glue here so that it actually comes up a little bit. That's nice. Now another thing I'm going to do, and I haven't opened this yet, so I thought I'd share with you, you know, these wasteful food trays. right? So I also have in my store from Art Glitter, and that's their name, glitter. They don't just do the glue that everybody loves. I have some different glitters, and I'm starting to get embossing powders, and I hope you can see the sparkle. This is called Martini, but it's really quite white, and as you can see, I'm opening it up right now in front of you. And again, I hope you can see some of that sparkle. It's beautiful. And they are a glitter company, so yay, an American glitter company. And there's Martini. And what I'm going to do, seeing as I'm going to just keep it in this box, I want to make sure that I've already glittered up. And here again, this is where this fine tip comes in handy. That I've already glittered up this window a bit. And I'll put it to the side to dry for just a second. It won't take too long, and I'm going to use some dimensional tape anyway, or sticky decks. I can never remember the name of anything anymore, so it must be lovely listening to me fumble through describing to you. My husband's getting to the point where he understands what I'm talking about, thank goodness. And I just want to have, I hope this looks okay afterwards, but I'm just going to, because the glue dries, get my glitter all over this window. I want it to be really sparkly. And I may come back in and add something in the center of those little dots there, but for the moment, I want to make sure this is all sparkled up and ready to go. Okay, so I'm just gonna pour my glitter over there, and this is the box. I'll put a spoon in here. This is the box I'm gonna use from now on, and I'll hopefully have a pretty pink sparkly window. Oh, and what's cool is the pigment ink. This is awesome, actually. The pigment ink is still wet, and it held on to some of the sparkle, so it's all in the window. That's great. And this is an older Heartfelt. Some of you might have this stamp. I'm not quite positive what this card will be used for, and I don't want to leave it with nothing ready for a sentiment. So I'm going to kind of set it up. And I know I'm going to put the sentiment down here. And I know this is unusual. You know, maybe you'd want to use something that you can die cut. As again, this is an older Heartfelt stamp, and I don't have the die cut for it. At least to the best of my knowledge, I don't. It's one of the first things I purchased from them. Alright, so I just want that little subtle pink spot where a sentiment can be added. I'm going to start to put some glue dots on the back. See if I can do this without making a terrible mess, so that it has a little dimension. So I'm going to put this right there. And I know I shouldn't be doing this while the glue is drying, but I have to get dinner going soon. I'm going to add some of these leaves. Just a dab of glue in the background, coming over the top. There we go. This one up in the upper right hand corner. And then I'm going to place the largest orchid first. And I think I'll put it right there. Well, preferably not upside down. Not that it really matters. The orchids don't care. Another one. Well, actually, I had decided that I want to put this little bow in here too, so then this, yeah, that's good. And then another right there. And one of the small ones down there, but first we add another leaf. Okay, leaf. And one more orchid up here. Just make sure all of these are pressed down. And I'm going to snip these tails. Okay, I'm going to add one more leaf down here. Alright, okay, so that's it. And when I get a chance, I can come back and either just stamp right here, or I can add a dimensional and it'll have that light pink background. So there we go. I had fun doing that. I hope you enjoyed it. I really liked the way that the pink does not look straight and flat, and I'm pleased with the subtle pink and light greens that are going throughout. Okay, that's it. It was nice to be back and do something with you, and I have a whole bunch of other items, we'll see how I do, that I'd like to come back and create with you. If you want any of these products, just about all of them are at huckleberryherbs.com. Thank you so much for subscribing, for watching, and for visiting my store. And to my customers, thank you very much for purchasing items. I'm looking forward to working with you again. Till next time, this is Kathy from Huckleberry Herbs and Art. God bless.